Hello, great people. Thank you for joining us. I am Chidi Akunna.
And I'm Victor Akunna.
Hey, if you're new to our channel, Foundation for Family Affairs, please feel free to subscribe and turn on the bell next to it so you're notified when we drop our content. I would like to say thank you to every returning subscriber for engaging with us. At Foundation for Family Affairs, our mission is to connect hearts and raise healthy families. And what we're talking about today, we've had this come to us in different ways. A lot of people in our circle, a number of people in our circle have had this. And we thought, I think it's the right time to deal with this topic. Okay? How to bounce back from rejection. How to bounce back from rejection. Hey, it's not the end of the road. We understand you feel different things. We'll be talking about how you feel. Okay, but regardless of how you feel, it's not the end of the road.
It's not the end
Do you
of
want
the
to
road.
say something?
Yeah, rejection is real. Sometimes it makes your stomach churn. You feel like throwing up.
Yes.
You feel disappointed. You feel 101 emotions, from anger to guilt to self-loathing to blaming, all kind of emotion you go through. And you're trying to understand why. How could you not see it? Why did it not happen? You're blaming yourself. Many things can happen. So we validate your emotion. We validate how you feel. You have the right to feel the way you're feeling. And so I want to be sharing some points on how you can now navigate and move on from what you have experienced.
I must say that the famous Dr. Phil said rejection is one of the greatest fears of human beings. So it's not wrong that you're feeling the way you feel, okay? And that's just because as humans, we want to feel accepted.
Absolutely.
We want to feel like we belong somewhere. There's that need for connection, okay? So imagine investing so much in a relationship. You may not have invested as much time, but investing your emotions is just as important, okay? And then you feel like you've been let down, you've been rejected, you've been abandoned. Hey, this is for you. First point you want to talk about is you need to identify and acknowledge your emotions. Identify how you feel. What are you feeling? Do you feel anger? Do you feel resentment towards this person? Do you feel fear? Are you afraid? Okay, you might be afraid that, oh, he's left me. What are the chances that I might get another person who would love me like he did?
Good point.
Okay, he may have loved you. He may have made you feel like you're the best girl in the world. Okay, and right now you're feeling like, well, how is there someone? Will there ever be someone like him out there? What are you feeling? Okay, you must identify how you feel.
One of the ways to identify how you feel is to write it down. There is something about writing down that distills your thoughts. Once the thoughts are in your head, they can overpower you and take over your whole life. So once you write it down on paper, it helps you really process. Okay, I'm afraid. Why am I afraid? Does that mean that the fact that someone walked away, does that mean that I've stopped being attractive? All right. Once you are able to see the issues, there are challenges that I have faced that the moment I'm able to document it, it just suddenly becomes small. Like, why are you afraid about this? Why are you angry that someone left? All right. Is it that they don't have the right to also say no? All right. Because sometimes we might have this belief system that, everybody must love me. Everybody must like me. Everybody must do things the way I want it. No, 1,000 times no. We can only control ourselves.
That's right.
It's a proposal. It should be a two-way thing. So if the person does not feel exactly the way I feel, should I be angry? Should somebody be angry that I don't love them back? All right. So there are things that you are able to distill, to be able to clarify. Once you document and capture those emotions, identify those emotions, you will now have the mental bandwidth to be able to address some of these issues. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. And then with how you're feeling, you might feel the need to cry. It's okay to cry. That takes us to our second point. It's okay to cry, but do not cry like one without hope. Okay, crying is good for you. They'll tell you it has health benefits. Okay, you have to empty that the hurt pocket. Empty it. Don't keep it in. Okay, it could be toxic for you. Okay, but then when you begin to cry like one without hope, that's extreme. Okay, that can also impact your health. You see, crying, which should be beneficial, then becomes harmful. Right? And you would only cry without hope if you feel that that was the only person for you, and you can't find somebody else. Okay, and I think at this point you might be looking down on yourself and thinking you don't mean much, you don't worth anything. All right, sometimes yes, rejection comes with those feelings. Okay, but don't stay there. Cry if you feel like it, but don't cry like one without hope.
Somebody may ask, so what about guys? Do we cry as well? All right. So the key thing about crying is that crying is an outlet.
Yes.
So find your own outlet. All right. So your outlet might be going to the gym. Your outlet might be, doing something that helps you feel better about yourself.
Or talking to someone.
Yeah. Your outlet might be painting. Your outlet. So find your own outlet. I'm not saying guys should not cry. Guys should cry, but there are many avenues you can explore. All right, to be able to let out that feeling. Otherwise, those thoughts can begin to take roots because there are some negative voices in our head sometimes. That condemn or that you're not good enough. How can it be if someone like this can be this? How can it be sure that the next relationship will be good? That you not go through the same experience. All right, so you have to reset yourself to where you were before you started the relationship. That's why crying and emptying the hurt pocket, like she's talked about. What's the hurt pocket? Is that place where you store all the hurt. If you don't let it out, you're going to pile up, and it can become cancerous to the body. It can become highly toxic to the body. So that's why you see people that hold on to, that don't forgive people easily, they often go through a lot of health challenges because emotions have powerful impact on our physical body. All right, so find a way to what they call it, to release. It might be playing football, whatever works for you. It's just good that you find a way to reset yourself to that original before you join that relationship. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So the next point you have for you is remind yourself that it was only an event. And affirm yourself. Okay, so we've packed two things here. Remind yourself that it was only an event. Okay, and that makes you realize that in the whole of my life, in all the years I have to live, that was just one thing that happened. Okay, there are many great things that can still happen. I can still meet that great person out there, that special person who would also value me and think I am the best thing that ever happened to him or her. Okay, remind yourself that what happened was just an event, like many other things that have happened to you in the past, and you have overcome those things. Okay, here you are. Yes, you were able to overcome a lot of rejection. I'm sure going through junior school, high school, going through uni, you may have you may have gone through rejection in different ways. Okay, but because we're talking about rejection in a relationship, especially if it's your first, you might feel like, oh my goodness, my world is collapsing.
True.
Right? Okay, but it's only an event. That was just one thing amongst many other things that will be happening to you in the future. And then you need to affirm yourself. You want to talk about affirmation?
Yeah, I was even want to make point. So I like the first point you raised, which is it's one event.
Yes.
What we're trying to help you see is that see the bigger picture. All right. So one of my mentors says something that is something called failure as a person and failure as an event. An event that happened is different from you. There are many factors that play the role into it. All right. So even if you want the relationship so desperately, you don't have the power to make it work. All right. The other person needs to. If I really want to make my relationship with my wife so desperately to work, and she's not on board, there's nothing I can do.
No.
Now I'm blaming myself. I'm feeling loathing myself. It's counterproductive. All right, because she is a human being, an individual that has a say in this whole chemistry that we're experiencing. She had to reciprocate. All right, so don't make yourself feel bad about one event. Your life is bigger than one event.
Right.
All right, don't make it a defining point in your life. All right, that will be too much power to give it. Think about it. Let's say you are 35. All right, and then you have the next 10 years. And you want to look back on that day and laugh and say, what was I that? What was it that I was doing? All right. What will determine how you feel the next 10 years is based on how you're handling today. That's why we're giving you some of the tools.
That's right.
All right. There are people who have been jilted or who have had rejected in their relationships, and they are still talking about it 25 years later. They've not moved on. And they keep trying to recreate that moment.
Yes.
All right. Instead of looking and say, what can I learn from this situation, which we're going to be coming to, look at the situation and say, you know what, this is an event, what can I learn, and move on.
Yes.
All right. Every one of the people that are successful in relationships, successful financially, they've gone through a setback. Whether they are able to come back is how they manage those situations. Okay, so affirm yourself. I know one thing about rejection is that makes you question your lovability. My word, in brackets. Whether you deserve love, whether you are good enough, it can cause you to question some things that you took for granted. All right, because once things are working, we just move into that winning streak. All right,
Yes.
so once there is a setback, you begin to question something. Affirm yourself. I am beautiful. I am lovable.
Oh, yes.
I am intelligent.
Yes.
The same way I attracted somebody, like I can attract better people. All right. You are not just looking for just this person. You are looking for specific qualities. And if you find those qualities in a different person, I'm telling you that you're going to fall in love as well.
Yes.
All right. Because there are qualities that you find attractive in people. All right. Not just their physical makeup. So let's also look at that and affirm yourself that you deserve the best. You will get the best.
Oh, yes.
Because you are a good package. You will attract what you have. Say that to yourself every day.
Oh, I feel that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So the next point is you need to pray. You need to pray.
Powerful.
There's so much that can happen in the place of prayer. It's a place of healing. It's a place of refreshing. It's a place of rejuvenation.
Wow.
I mean, you get to that place where you can pour out your heart to God. You can tell God how you feel. Oh, I feel disappointed. Oh, I feel like a mess. You can talk to God like that. Okay, be vulnerable with God. And I tell you, if you linger in the place of prayer, God will speak to you. Hey, I have loved you with an everlasting love. Nothing can change God's love for you. It is everlasting.
Not even you.
You are priceless. Even before you became fit for love, God chose to send his son Jesus to die for you because he thought you priceless. Hey, what can I possibly give for this child? I will send my son, only begotten son. God loves you like that. Yes, it might just be that it's been a long time you felt God's love, so you need to get into the closet and get vulnerable with God. Be open with God and feel his love again. Embrace his love. Accept his love. Okay, his love is there. If you don't accept it, it won't go in. You need to open up and embrace God's love.
Fantastic.
Oh, I am lovable. God thinks the best of me. I am worthy for God to send his son to die for me. I am valuable. Oh, wow. Speak those words to yourself. Receive from God and affirm yourself again. Really important.
Powerful. Powerful. I can't add more than that. For me, the only thing I can do is to share my own experience. When I go through setbacks and I go into God's presence to pray about it, one thing I come out of it with a different perspective.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
That is one thing and once you come out with a different perspective, the situation may not have changed, but you have changed, you have grown. You develop new competence and new belief system, new thinking around that issue. And that's what really matters. It's not really what happens to you, it's how you handle what happens to you, how you see what happens to you. All right. So sometimes what you think is a setback might be a redirection. All right. There are relationships now that I was thinking, oh, maybe this was it. Now I look back and say, oh God, thank you. I didn't get into this. Because not that the people are bad, it's just that this wasn't for you. Because with hindsight, with the benefit of hindsight, they say hindsight is 2020. You can see better that for the vision and for where I'm going, this is the best person for the ride. All right. So it's very important for you to do this because it will give you a perspective that will help you just, shake it off like a dog shakes off water at the back.
And you can bounce back. You can bounce back.
You will definitely.
Okay. So the next point, I think we'll take it from where you left it. What has this experience taught you? what has this experience taught you? You know, you were saying something about, you know, the same person. Okay, if you let it, it will stretch you.
Fantastic.
Okay, you will get new perspective. You might even come to know yourself better. Hey, so I was this vulnerable for something like this to hit me like this. Okay, what adjustments do I need to make? And then you make those adjustments. Okay, but in all of it, ensure that you never make a decision that takes you back to that state.
Deep.
Never make another decision that takes you back to that state. Otherwise, it means you've not learned anything from the process. Okay, what lesson have you learned from this? So that's why it's important to process. Give yourself time. And that's why we always encourage that you don't just leave one relationship and jump into another. You get in there and mess it up. Okay, you gather the lessons. Okay, what have I learned? What can I do better? And then you're ready to move on.
Yeah. I want to unpack something that you said. Never make a decision that takes you backwards. What that means is sometimes some people come out from that experience and say, I'll never love again. Men are this, women are that. And you come up with that belief system.
That's right.
Belief system that are not empowering, belief system that are disempowering, that makes you bitter and sustain that, whatever philosophy you want to believe, whatever camp you want to believe, there are 101 people online that are going to validate that. So you say men are this, if you search it, that's what. Because the world does not reflect to you what it is. The world reflects back to you who you are. And that's principle, understanding it was one of the most revolutionary things for me.
That.
So sometimes you are blaming everybody, why are people treating me like this? Why are people... It's what you are reflecting to the world that the world is reflecting. The world is merely a mirror. Okay, so what am I saying? So don't get into bitterness and say some people believe that, there's no more love out there because of one or two experiences they've had. What we often say to our single followers is if you experience something once, a second time, a third time, so maybe like you get into a relationship and the relationship packs up and then start another one after a period of time, and they are with different people but you're having similar experience. The problem is not with those people. You are the common denominator. There is something within your mind, your belief system, that keeps attracting and recreating those same experiences. Yes. So you probably want to have a chat with us and know what exactly are you doing that we can help you unlock. Once you unlock that, you realize that you begin to attract a different kind of people. Okay. So having said that, don't be because you are in darkness, in pain, make a decision to say, I am never going to love again, or the next relationship I'm going to make sure that they pay for my pain. Those kind of decisions will set you back 100 years. I'm telling you. Yes. Tell yourself that I may not understand this, but I'm going to come out of this better, and I'm going to be a better version of me for the next person. That's a decision that takes you forward, not backwards.
Okay, and still talking about thinking forward. Yeah. Okay, our next point is you need to develop a self-improvement plan. A self-improvement plan. Yeah. It might include engaging in a physical activity. Yes, physical activity does help. Yes. Okay, there are people who tell you they go, they exercise, and that way they're able to shift their emotional state. Okay, and exercise is good for you. Something happens to your brain when you exercise. Yeah. Okay, you might want to explore a new hobby, a new activity. Okay, and I think we're speaking with this lady, and she said, in the course of it, the only thing that could help her was she decided to embark on studying graphic design. Okay, and while doing that, she found something new, another source of income, and then it was just soothing to her. Some people decide to travel. Okay, they take trips to explore other parts of the world, self-development. Traveling in itself is part of developing yourself, because you're gaining new perspective about new cultures, how people behave. You're opening your mind up to different perspectives. Yeah, so really important. You want to share more?
Personally, how I implement this in my life, anytime I experience a setback, I make up my mind that next time I'm going for this, I'm going to shoot for something even higher. So I have experienced setback maybe on job related matters. I'm saying, okay, you know what? Next time I'm coming, I'm going to be even better. So it's no disadvantage or no setback leaves me worse off, because I go back, I read around it, I research around it. When I'm coming, you will not see me coming, and that's a decision. And I remember I was a teenager when I made a decision. And I told myself that going forward, any setback, I'm going to come back, I'm going to ask for. So maybe like I was asking for something, maybe like 20,000. All right. Next time I'm coming, I'm going to be shooting for 60,000. I'm going to hit it.
Right.
So I use it, I turn it into fuel, all right, for something higher and something much better. You can use that as well. All right. Remember, you have a say in the matter. All right. So it's not that something happened and then you're like, oh, woe is me. My whole life has ended. No. Sometimes, most times, not sometimes, most times, people experience the greatest success in their darkest moments. I remember a quote I heard some years ago. It said, when it's darkest is when it's closest to dawn.
That's right.
When is the thickest darkness at night is when it's closest to dawn. That has never left me. So sometimes you might think it's dark, it's gloomy because of where you're at right now. I tell you that your life is about to change for the best.
Oh yeah.
Because Mike Murdoch could say something that your greatest obstacle is an indication of your nearest promotion. Your promotion is around the corner. Yeah.
Oh yes. Do not let the rejection keep you down.
No.
Okay. Recover and get going.
Yes.
There's so much ahead of you. There's so much ahead of you. There's someone super you need to meet in your future.
Absolutely.
Okay. So don't let it go down. I think we were listening to this show and the lady was saying, oh, she's even afraid of wanting to just step out and meet somebody else.
Yeah.
Okay. You can't let that experience cap you. You can't let it put a hold on your life.
Absolutely.
Okay. There are great people out there, great ladies and gentlemen out there you can meet. Okay. And but you must recover and get going. You can't stay stuck. Don't let that happen to you. Okay. And then the next point is you must spend time with loved ones. Okay, why is this important? They remind you that you're worthy of love again. Okay, we love you regardless. You're able to look at it and say, oh, okay, that's just one person in my whole life who doesn't need me. Okay, but look at all these lovely people who need me. Okay, put yourself among them and just enjoy life. Enjoy being among them, being in their midst. Yes.
It's very important for you to enjoy that relationship. That's why you also need to have healthy relationships around you.
Yes.
People that rally around you when you need reassurance. Very important. For families to create this kind of atmosphere, all right, for each other. So it's one of the reasons why people commit suicide, because when they look around them, they are in the midst of people, but nobody really gets them. Nobody really accepts them. And people see it when you don't really accept them, no matter how much, because we are spirit being having a human experience. You know when someone doesn't really like you, all right. So you might want to explain it in a way that it doesn't really matter, but we all know. We know those people that genuinely care about us, even if they don't verbalize it, because you feel it, you feel the energy. All right. So very important for us to have that kind of strong relationship, strong network, because you don't know when you're going to need them.
Okay. And the last point you have for you today is counseling. Go for counseling. It is important. In a multitude of counsel, there is safety. Okay, a counselor is neutral. Okay, I will help you look at the situation and probably tell you what he or she thinks you could have done better.
Yeah.
That's an advantage you have there. Okay, because sometimes we go through this experience, it might be in our blind spots.
Yep.
Okay, it might just be that you saw something at the start of the relationship, and over time, because you kept seeing this person, you kept talking with this person, your guards were down, and then you explained it away until yes, you finally were, in quotes, dumped, right? And then you wake up and you're feeling like, oh, I could have dumped him earlier, but I had to put up with this. Why would you put up with that? Okay, so a counselor can help you see things 360 degrees, right? Those things in your blind spots as well. So when you get into another relationship, you're able to make better decisions, better judgments. Yes.
Counselors, coaches are invaluable. All right, because they like you said, they are unbiased. They will give you there will be a sounding board. They give you a better perspective. To be honest with you, nothing as bad as it seems. Yes. I'm telling you, life is about perspective. One thing I've learned, no matter how bad, there was an experience I had, I think it was last year. Oh, it gave me a blow. It made me question a lot of things in my life. But one thing I told myself, I said, no, okay, now what do I want to go? Do I want to leave this experience bitter and then throw in the towel and then start explaining it away and then look for whiners all around me? Or am I going to go for feedback? I went for feedback and I was asking, okay, so tell me what exactly happened? What can I do better? And then after that experience, I became much better. All right. So, because sometimes that's what a counselor will do for you. Once your counselor begin to ask you question about, you to walk them through the steps of the relationship, how you started, how you navigated, what happened, because of their experience, their wealth of experience, they are going to be telling you, okay, you know what, at this point, this is what you do, this is how you didn't create boundaries here, he violated your space and you thought it was okay, she did this, she made fun of you publicly and you thought it was okay. The fact that you want to love someone does not mean you should shrink or downplay. They will tell you stuff that you now build into your temperament, your philosophy, your ideology, and help you to become a better version of yourself so that you will be ready to navigate. But one thing I like to say is this: don't allow the fear of anything in your life make you get to that point where you shrink your human experience. You shrink the value of who you are. Rather than being scared of drowning, go and learn how to swim.
Oh, yes. I like that.
Rather than being scared of drowning, go and learn how to swim. There are some people, their approach to fear or to challenges is not to ever swim. So because they don't want to drown. There are some people who say there's a possibility of drowning. There's also a possibility of hitting gold on the other side. And don't be the person who, because of fear of what might happen, shrink their whole life and they get to the end of their life and all they have is regret of unlived dreams, regret of what they never tried, regret of what could have been. Don't be that person. Try it. You have this opportunity in life. Maximize your life and let God say to you, oh, that good and faithful servant.
Yes.
You did maximize every potential that I deposited in you. Be that individual. Yeah.
Okay, at this point, I would like to invite you to enroll on our Intimacy Builder coaching program. It is a very good program. We have seen it help people make different leaps in their lives. Okay, so the link will be in the description box. You may want to hit that link and then connect with us, and we'll be in touch with you.
All right. Thank you guys for subscribing.
Yes. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. This is the time.
Very, very important to us. And those of you that leave comments, that give us feedback, very, very important to us because there's nothing you want to do in this life that you don't need people. Thank you guys for showing up.
Thank you so much. Guys. All right. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye-bye.
Bye.